Good morning, or afternoon, or evening, fellow explorers and adventurers. This is Jonathan, and
This is Nathan.
we're from HEXtoberfest, and we wanted to do a live stream event today to talk to you guys about the game and to get any feedback or questions if you'd like to have anything answered. We would definitely be able to take the time to do that for you guys. We want to be able to try and increase the excitement in the community here and just kind of talk about the game. So we hope everybody's doing good. I'm going to take a couple minutes here just to plug the Facebook page just so that people know we're live streaming. So just be a second while I do that. Be nice if this was all animated, automated, I mean. Be cool to have it animated too, right?
Yeah.
A bunch of cartoon characters. We are now live streaming. And I need to grab the link. Where's the link? I don't know. So it might be a quiet day today. I don't know how many folks are going to be joining us today, but we're here anyway. You'll be able to watch this event after the fact too. So that'll be good. Would you guys believe it? This is the first time I've actually successfully live streamed anything? Surprise! Okay. A couple more clicks and I think we'll be ready to go here. There. There we go. Alright. Cool. So we have a couple of things for you guys today. We're going to be giving away a canvas print of a hero of your choice, or the Dead King, or one of the bosses, including the Crowvern, or any of the other bosses that we released for Valley of the Dead King. So basically how that'll work is anybody who participates in today's event will be entered to win. We will just basically take a list of all of the names who have, of the folks who have actually interacted with us today, and then we'll go ahead and do a random number draw from that list, and that's how we'll do it. So we hope you guys will have a good time today. Let me just turn this off here. Alright. Alright, so I guess I could probably get some music going. I don't know how this shows us who's watching. I'm not sure. Have you ever done a live stream?
No.
Yeah. Me neither.
Figured they would have the numbers on there.
Yeah. Okay. I guess it does show it right here. So we can just leave that up maybe. Does it say Doesn't say down here, does it? Okay. This, I believe this shows it to us here too. As long as we're able to actually interact with people, that's all I care about. So, as long as they can see and hear us okay, I think we're gonna be okay. Don't really know what to expect. Do you want to try and pull it up on your phone to see if maybe the audio and stuff is good? So we're, in addition to the Canvas giveaway, we are going to be showing off the game. So that's this guy right here. Our first volume of the HEXtoberfest gaming system, the Valley of the Dead King. So we're excited that that is now in production, and we're hoping that that will be out very soon. So far, we're definitely looking at January, the end of January, as our turn-in, our shipping date. So that's a good thing. A little bit earlier than what we had planned. Let's see, we should have a comment. Yeah. Should probably just reorganize this page so I don't have to keep staring at the computer, and then we can get a conversation going. By the way, if anybody is watching right now, I do apologize how sloppy this is. I think as we get a little bit better at doing this sort of thing, I think it'll be a little bit easier to do. So, all right. Well, now we've got some viewers here. All right. So, well, I guess we could talk about some of our experiences, building the game. I met Nathan at a con about a year and 3 months ago.
Yeah, roughly. It was GeekCon, I believe.
Madison. So we were. I was basically there promoting the game and basically getting feedback from people, blind play testers, to see how how things were going, and a lot of excitement. Met Nathan and his wife, and they sat down and played a game with me, and a lot of questions, and we had a lot of fun. And we just kind of started to keep in touch. You had a lot of great ideas about the game, about a lot of ways to kind of finesse some of the heroes, and some of them were in a I would say 60 to 70% balanced state. So we had a great deal of dialogue between us about how to make the game better, and it just became more of an organic experience, working with Valley of the Dead King, and now on our second game that will be coming out. That's a follow-up to the Valley of the Dead King. And we won't get too much into the details of that one just yet, but we are definitely excited about that title. So that we're hoping to be able to launch that Kickstarter next year. We're doing a lot of work behind the scenes on that. So Nathan, what's your favorite hero? What hero do you like playing the most?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Do we have to narrow it down into like the types? We can
Maybe.
we can do that.
I particularly like the Elementalist. That was the first role I ever played, and I also like probably the Beastmaster. He's a lot of fun.
I wonder how hard it is to share images. Maybe I can. Maybe while you're
Yeah.
talking, I can try and get up an image of some of these. Or, oh, you know what? I could probably just... It's going to be easier. Sorry to interrupt. To just, it'll be easier for me to just do links. Hi, Victoria. Hello. Thanks for joining us today. So yeah, before I rudely interrupted you, I will get a couple of links together of our heroes, and then we can continue with your favorite heroes. So you said Elementalist.
Elementalist is probably my favorite sapper. He was the first role I ever played. Particularly like the Beastmaster. He can be a lot of fun. Divine One might be my all-time favorite of one of the roles I've played the most.
Yeah, the Divine One is a lot of fun.
He's a good kind of a striker-healer hybrid. He's mostly a healer, but she can heal herself by dealing damage, or she can heal others.
Mm-hmm.
So usually she's a good assist on extra damage when the other heroes don't need all that help.
Yeah, and it is pretty awesome that you're able to play a class that can bring someone back from the dead. That is one thing we built in five ways to bring your character back from the dead, and the Divine One is one of them. So what I can do is actually find the card, and I'll just hold it up to the camera. That might be just as easy. So you were talking about the Elementalist. Yep.
Just behind it.
Elementalist. So there we have the Elementalist card and the artwork for the Elementalist. That's one of my favorite pieces that Conrad did. Conrad is just an amazing artist. He's been helping with us with the project. We had a lot of help from Will as well, and he did quite a few of the characters as well. So
that was the Dryad race that was attached to the Elementalist.
So the Divine One. So here's our Divine One. And the artwork for that one is the Illuman. And this is a race that is basically the, it's kind of, she's made of light. So kind of the antithesis of the shade. But yeah, Empowered Recovery is a fun one, especially because, like we said, you can bring your friends back from the dead. So how's it going, Victoria? How are you today? And thanks for tuning in and for oh, Aaron, yeah, awesome. We're doing great. Good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. So I believe, Aaron, did you win one of the canvases? I think there was an Aaron who won a canvas. Not 100% on that, but possibly. So, but at any rate, thanks for being here today and for pledging for the game. So, looks like there is a little bit of a delay there. So what else? We can kind of go through. So you said, do you have a striker that you have a favorite striker yet? I know your absolute favorite striker is one that doesn't come in the box yet. And that one will be releasing with Forest of Adramon, new heroes. So that one will be a fun one. But of the ones we have in the box, what's your favorite?
Maybe the Summoner. Summoner can be a lot of fun. I like a lot of the roles that can use the encounters from summoning. So Summoner and Necromancer.
Yep. Yeah, my favorite was it was Aaron you worked with, so you give it to. Okay. So yeah, my favorite striker is the Berserker. Awesome. So he's gonna do his first playthrough is gonna be the Oracle. That'll be definitely a fun one. The fun one with the Oracle too is you get to anticipate what your enemies are doing. And the Oracle is definitely a good hero to play if you have additional heroes in the group. They definitely support the party more when you have other heroes in the group as well. But you can still play it out, single hero as well. But
and the Oracle has a lot of good combos with some of the other heroes, like
the Trap Specialist.
Especially. Pairing it, we've done a game where we paired the Elementalist, the Oracle, and the Trap Specialist, and that made it really a lot of fun when you can combine certain abilities like that.
And just to let you know, kind of a little bit of a feedback in that is that the Oracle, actually the Trap Specialist, his ability is Specialty Trap. One of his abilities is Specialty Trap. And basically, you get to guess what the die roll is going to be. And if you successfully guess what the die roll is going to be, you get a permanent boost to the damage that you're doing. And so, as you can tell, and let me back up. So, encounters, you typically have 3 different things that they can do. You have on a roll of a 1 or 2, a roll of a 3 or a 4, or a roll of 5 or a 6. And on some of them, there will be, 1 through 3 is your attack, 4 and 5 is your mastery, and number 6 is going to be the special ability. So you will have a better idea of kind of what you're going to be guessing based on, what their actual specialties are. But to back up, when you're playing the Oracle, you'll be able to use the Oracle to see what the die roll is before you use your ability. When you use your ability, you can just say the number that was rolled, and it's pretty fun because now you've created a sustainable, damage build.
Oh yeah.
So it looks like Oracle Trap Specialist and the Tinkersmith. So or the
Tinkersmith.
Yeah, Tinkersmith. So that'll be a fun one. We enjoy those greatly. The other thing with the Oracle is she's not necessarily a conventional healer, even though she is a healer type. And the reason for that is because she's not actually healing damage, she's redistributing damage. I think one of her abilities is a heal.
The one that does let you see the roll.
Yep, Seer's Attention.
To do a smaller heal, but her main heal is the distribute, because she can redistribute and reduce.
Yep. Oh, looks like we have Marianne here. Hello.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us today. We're just talking about some of our favorite heroes at the moment. Another hero I really like is the Tinkersmith, and that one you had a lot of great ideas. He was a little different before I met you, and Nathan had some fun ideas on making this one a little more interesting, and that was to include the races as some of the special abilities that you could use. So. The idea with the Tinkersmith, let me just grab that guy out here. I shouldn't keep putting these away because we keep using them. I'll just find him here. The other thing too is I was really happy with how thick these are, the boards. So the Tinkersmith. And we have bezel quark as the art on the back side here. So Tinkersmith is able to use versatile fabrication, his first mastery, in order to basically gain access to additional racial abilities. And the races in the game really bring a lot of uniqueness to the roles, because it's a way for you to play the Tinkersmith or the Beastmaster or the Brute or any of these roles and have an extremely different gameplay experience every single time based on the race that you play. So, hey, thanks, Mary. We can't wait to get it to you guys. Seriously, it's nothing. I've been thinking of hardly anything else for a while. I mean, obviously, you know, we do other things, and I'm a family guy, so, you know. But, yes, it's always in the back of my head, and I can't wait to get it to you guys. So yeah. What else? Going back to the Tinkersmith, the idea there is that you gain access to a Tinker Hand. And so you automatically gain access to every race that's being played. So in a large group, the Tinkersmith is really advanced, because let's say you're playing with a group of 6 people, you have access to all of the races on the table, and then you also get access to races as well that show up in your Tinker Hand. So that's a fun one. Power Bot is more of an assist ability for the Tinkersmith, so you're able to boost someone else's attack. And there's an interesting thing you can do as the Tinkersmith is you can actually convert whatever ally attack you're boosting, you can convert it from health to energy damage. So you can take the Brute's attack and convert it to energy, do more damage as an energy type, and he becomes a sapper. So that's kind of where his utility, why he's a utility role there. So let's see, did you give us your favorite utility role?
I think Beastmaster.
Beastmaster? Alright, let me get that one out. Beastmaster is super fun, yeah. So the Beastmaster gains access to the creatures that show up in the game. Specifically, creature encounters that show up in the game. And we purposely built the Beastmaster so that if you're playing 2 games at once and you have access to different maps, anytime a creature shows up in either map, you get to add it to your pack. So the Beastmaster has the potential to get very powerful the more creatures you end up finding out in the wilderness. So you want to talk a little bit about the abilities?
Yeah, so John was just talking about Call of the Wild, where you just automatically gain the creatures that are in play. And that allows you to summon them in combat. The higher your rank, the more creatures you can summon at one time. And then your second ability is damaging ability, but it gains a boost to its damage for every creature you currently have in your pack, and even more so if you have them in combat. So it's a whole collection game with the Beastmaster where you're trying to cycle through the circumstances and just trying to collect them all. So, and
it brings up a good point. You can actually, we've built in an item in the game that's called a luck stone, and the luck stone is purchasable in cities. So you're able to actually purchase this item and recycle the cards in the circumstance deck at a fairly good rate. You can get rid of 3 cards. So you buy a couple of those, and we actually give the luck stone is actually a discounted item in one of the cities. So if you start on a particular city as the Beastmaster, and this is all randomized, right? So you might have a great first initial setup. You might be in a different city, but you can purchase this item and then cycle through the creatures, hopefully, and find your creatures. Hi, Paul.
Hi.
We're looking forward to sending it. Thanks for joining us today. We're excited to have you here. We're talking about the heroes at the moment, so we're just kind of going through some of our favorites. Another one that I like is the Hunter. In fact, I actually played. I took a video of the Hunter, so you guys should be able to see that online. But the Hunter is another one of those utility classes that gains power over time. And we paired that with the Centaur. So the Hunter gains the ability to actually use his Hunter's precision to increase the damage that he's doing. He basically is, let's see here. So, this is the one where he shuts down the energy attack. So, chilling in Grand Canary. Awesome. Chilling is always good. Hopefully you're not chilling like we are, because it's frigid here. It's terribly frigid. I think it dropped to like 40 degrees today.
Yeah, I saw that was earlier than colder than 40 when I got up.
Was it really?
So,
yeah, I'm just in denial. So, it gets pretty chilly, and we're definitely at that point where it's like there's no turning back. We're getting ready for the winter, and winter is coming. So, thankfully, a horde of zombies isn't coming with it. That wouldn't be fun. Nor do we have a gigantic wall. So. I'm not even going to do a reference about the wall here, because I could get political. The Hunter is fun too, because you get the chance to do an ensnare ability, and the ensnare allows you to actually modify the die roll result of what your opponent rolls. So again, the Hunter can use his ensnare ability to set up for a next round. So it's basically that he becomes the target this round when he uses this ability. And then next round, he gets to modify, he gets to do damage to the opponent, and he gets to modify the die result that they roll. Hello, MJ Goldheart. Yeah. So, yes, definitely winter is here. Yep. So we're not too far behind on the leg. That's good. So anyway, we were talking about synergies and the fact that certain roles are really good with others, kind of bouncing around a little bit. But the Hunter, we're just saying, is super fun paired with the Trap Specialist, because you can use the Hunter's ability to ensnare the opponent next turn, setting up for your Trap Specialist, who then gets bonus damage because you have a better chance of actually guessing the correct thing. So.
And even more so with the Oracle that we were just talking about.
Yep. So let's move on to the Priest. The Priest is kind of a fun one too. This was our original healer. In fact, he had kind of had several different names before we came up with the Priest. And this, I think, was before even you were on board. But I had gone through several ideas on what the name should be. I thought, Priest was kind of generic. It was, at one point, it was Curate, and then all of the feedback was like, well, it kind of sounds like he's a curator at a museum, so that didn't work, so we went back to Priest. But I think I had 3 or 4 names for the Priest before that. This is years ago. So, happy that he's now the Priest again. So the Priest is kind of a fun tie-in to D&D, because his ability is channeling. Basically this is something that you can use to either do damage, a smaller amount of damage to your opponent, or you can heal. So this is typically how the Priest is used. But there are those times where you might you might, for your declaration phase in combat, you might say, I'm going to use channeling this round. The great thing about the HEXtoberfest, or the combat system, is that you don't have to declare a target. So you don't have to say, I'm healing Nathan. All you have to say is, I'm channeling. And then based on how that combat round ends, or continues, you will then, at the resolution phase of combat, that's when you get to choose your target. So let's say nobody gets hit this round. Let's say your enemy actually does a defend move. you're not there wasted. You haven't wasted an action now, so you can simply change that channeling from a healing to a damaging attack. So, and we have several tie-ins with other roles with that as well. Want to talk about the Berserker here, or we should probably talk about Replenish a little bit too.
Yeah.
So,
Second mastery.
Yeah. You want to take that one?
Yeah, Replenish is more of a heal over time. Thanks. We're really
Oh.
a fan of the artwork too.
Thank you. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
We keep bouncing around, but yes, we have 3 artists that worked on the art for Valley of the Dead King. We're actually going to be sending out the Heroes of Explore It book very soon. We're pretty much, it's all finished up. I just need to make sure that all of our spelling is good, punctuation, that kind of thing. And then as soon as that goes out, you'll be able to see all of the art in the game. I should back up. Not all of the art in the game. We unlocked tons of extra heroes, and the art book is only going to show the first 6 heroes, the 10 bosses, and then extra little things in there as well. So anyway, that's coming soon, and you'll be able to see those. So, Marianne, let's see. I think it would be fun to see you start a game on a video. Yeah, we can do that. We've got a little table here we can try and set up. Looking forward to more instructional videos. Thank you guys. By the way, I think it's awesome that you guys are all here spending your morning with us. I didn't really know how the live stream was going to go, and obviously it being the first time I've successfully live streamed, there have been many attempts. I'm not that bad when it comes to working with computers. I do that a lot, but live streaming is a different beast. So back to the replenish ability for the priest.
It's pretty good just for when you know if someone's not going to die immediately. It's a good first round ability where you can just throw it on everyone, lasts for a couple rounds depending on how strong you are, and then it just heals your entire group by a small amount, and it can actually replenish energy as well if they're already at full health, so it's not just a wasted move. But I'd say the priest is a pretty good, if you like playing the healer, it's a good beginner healer. Not too complicated, and what you're pretty much looking for a healer.
Yeah, the priest is, we've classified the priest as one of the easy roles to play. Another easy role to play, and one of several of our favorites, is the Scoundrel. The Scoundrel is a super amount of fun. In fact, I will put this up here. Oh, you know what? I'm not seeing the Scoundrel. There we go. Scoundrel. So the Scoundrel is a super fun one, and this was done illustrated by Will. So he did a great job with her. You want to talk about the Scoundrel a little bit?
Yeah. So the Scoundrel, the artwork was paired with the human that we were just showing. Her first mastery is treasure hunting, so she just kind of leaves to go try to find some extra gold for herself. As you successfully do that, it eventually allows you to find gold for the whole party. And then that kind of sets up for her second move, which is Backstab. Once you get treasure hunting high enough rank, it allows you to defend, and the defend is required to use your second mastery. So turn 1, you treasure hunt, second turn, you Backstab, and Backstab can do a lot of damage. It just requires a little setup to do. And
yep, and it's a fun one too, because you're pretty much leaving your party mates to try and find gold. Like, there's a lot of fun at the table when people find out, what are you doing this round? How much damage you could do? No, I'm not doing anything. I'm gonna look for gold. And then there's the tipping point where you successfully use it several times. You get to gain more gold. So it's a lot of fun to play. And
that was my wife's favorite role. She always loves playing that one. That was the first one she ever did, since she likes playing those rogue characters.
That was Aaron's favorite too. In fact, we nerfed the backstab damage a little bit. We should talk a little bit about the infinite loop.
Oh yeah, so
there was a way to break the game. So here, Nathan will say it.
So backstab. As you kept getting it higher and higher in the ranks, you basically do twice your rank in damage plus your attack, and then you get a dice roll. And the dice roll can explode, one of the things where you would roll, and if you roll a hex, you get to...
Did you see Mary's comment?
Yeah.
Don't you hate backstabbers?
It allows you to roll again, and eventually you get to a 10-sided die. And then, as Backstab's rank keeps increasing, it allows you to re-roll the die on more numbers, so it starts raising up. So if you manage to play a long game and get the Backstab up to roughly rank 27,
which we've done a couple of we've done.
That's how we found this. So you have to play a good amount of hours. And devote a lot of time into it.
Yeah.
But you were able to have an infinite damage because the die would always explode.
Right. And so there was a moment where we were like, wait, that's not going to work. And we almost kept it in there, but it wouldn't have been fair.
It wouldn't have been easy to do, and only in those really, like, if you played double up rules and decided to play for a good 4 hours, maybe it could happen, but still... It was a fun find when we did that.
Yeah, we laughed quite a bit for that one. We should talk a little bit when our party wiped, when we fought the spiders.
Oh,
we fought so we were playing a game at at Adventure Games here in Oshkosh, and we ended up I think it was four of us that day. Back you, me, and maybe Eric. And we were playing just a normal setting, I believe, and we amped up the difficulty a little bit early game. So in HEXtoberfest, you can actually increase the difficulty. In fact, I can bring that up here.
Right after the bosses, I believe.
Oh, is it? Yep. There we go. Yep. So on the bottom of the battle mat here, you have a bar where you can actually amp up the difficulty as you're playing the game, and you get some bonus gold for doing that. So we ended up amping up the difficulty a little bit because we wanted it to feel a little bit harder, and we ended up getting a quest, which was an invasion quest. So invasions, how they work. In fact, I can get out the quest deck here. Maybe pull one out for you to look at. This is our quest deck. I'm kind of all over the place.
Yeah,
I apologize. I'm like a squirrel. I'm a squirrel. All right. So invasion cards are kind of fun because they basically take a city and a circumstance, and they pair them together. So basically what you're looking for is a circumstance along the top of the circumstance bar. You're looking for an encounter card specifically. So you find the first available encounter, and you put it on top of this invasion card. Not keen on spiders in real life or games, yep.
Yep. Don't worry, there's no artwork on the spider's card, so you don't have to worry about looking at them.
So yeah, we ended up facing an invasion, and the spiders were the first level. That was the first circumstance, the encounter that we found in the circumstance deck. And when we paired that together, it was like, no word, it's not a big deal. It's spiders.
Spiders are the level 1 creature type, so they, don't have a lot of health. We'll just go in and exterminate them.
Right. So we didn't really think too much of it, and then we decided to kind of do some other things on the map. And we did some things, and I think we were I don't know, half health. We were ready
for it, I think.
And we ended up going to the quest, and normally in cities you heal, right? So we went to the city. We couldn't heal yet because there was a quest on it to destroy this invasion of spiders. And we had been playing for an hour and a half,
Probably.
hour and a half. We were like, that's no problem. We ended up facing the spiders, and when you face an invasion, it amps up the difficulty. There is something called dangerous opponents in the game, and if an opponent is dangerous, you fight it on one level difficulty higher than normal.
And in that particular version, this was a long time ago, the invasions upped the difficulty by 2. And so when we went in, we read it, and we were like, oh, it does go up by 2. And I'm pretty sure it put it to at least hard, giving them an extra 25 to 50 health per player.
Yeah, it was. I think it was. It was like 25 health per player, easy. So we were facing spiders with 100 extra health, and here we are, half health. We've got like 5 or 6 health left out of maybe 10 total from many of our heroes, and we totally wiped. It was so embarrassing. So that's a little story about how there is some skill in the game.
Read your cards ahead of time.
Yeah. But we laugh about this to this day that we wiped to a bunch of spiders. So what else? Should we talk about some more roles, and then we'll move on and kind of show the map and stuff?
What was some of your other favorite?
Maybe we could talk about the ruins and the shrines.
Yeah, some of the places you can find outside of the on the game board itself.
Sure. Okay, so I'll get out the market card and the cities, shrines, and the ruins. Okay. So when you begin the game, you begin on one of 6 cities. You are going to roll the 6-sided die, and that is going to become the result, the resulting city that your heroes begin on. On each of these cities, there's actually a discounted item. So it's important for you to look at that at the beginning of the game and go, is it worth purchasing this extra item? For instance, when we're talking about the Beastmaster, this is where it comes into, it basically is very important for you to be able to get those luck stones early, and you can get those in the city of Restwindale, for instance. So let's see, how long will a game be solo? You can play with just 1 character or 2, can't remember off the top of my head. Yes, so there are a couple of videos on the YouTube page where you can actually see me playing a 1-player game. I believe I've got a video on there of a Stonemar Hunter, so you can check that out. It's a 1-player, 1-hero game, but you can actually play as many heroes as you can manage. You could play a 6-player game with 6 heroes as a one player if you wanted to. I think most of the time it's just 2 heroes for one person, but that's definitely feasible in the game.
Yeah, that's usually how I'll play, is just 2 heroes. That way I have like a healer and a striker or whoever, whatever combo I want to do. Yeah.
Okay, so on the back of the city card, it has the marketplace, and this marketplace is basically showing all of the different items that you have access to. Rations, potion, luckstone, handy elixir, camping gear, an exotic map for you to expand the map tiles, climbing gear, folding boat, reliable mounts, and fortification. You can actually buy your own castle in the game. So the idea there is it's pretty costly, but it becomes, once you purchase the fortification plans, you gain access to a city that cannot fall to the dead king. So it becomes your home base, and it's kind of nice in the end game where you might be almost ready to fight the Dead King, but he's taken over the cities. You don't have any more places to turn in quests. It's a way to extend the game a little bit. And in fact, whenever you fight anything in your fortification, you gain extra bonus damage, just like you would be gaining favored opponent damage. So it's a fun one to set up for end game. Do you want to talk a little bit about upgrading?
Yeah, sure. So, John holds up those. So, the main thing that you're doing to upgrade your character is actually what we call gear upgrades. And there's a hex, if we see, with the numbers around those. And these aren't laminated yet. This is just our prototype, but these will be laminated. And you would just mark off, starting at the top of the hex, when you decide to buy a gear upgrade. So that one that John's pointing to with the health costs 2 gold for your first gear upgrade. So you cross that off, your center hex will have the number, and you would just erase that and increase the rank by 1. And you'll continue doing that with all your abilities. Your abilities cost 4 starting out. They're a little more expensive because that's your main combat abilities. You have your skills. They start out with 3, and then your vitals, health, and energy are your cheapest ones to upgrade. But you can only do that in cities, but there's a lot of other things that can happen that can upgrade your stats.
Yep, so that's a fun one that you can actually spend your gold on. That's definitely... once you play the long game, if you wanted to play a marathon game, there are some fun ways that we've built in to get some extra gold, and that includes an item in the black market. It includes locating the frozen portal, which is a circumstance event, which is super fun. But yeah, once you get your hands on a lot of gold, you'll be able to upgrade your character. And I think when we did the math, it came out to be like 300 gold. I think it was really close to 300 gold. How much it costs to upgrade all of your stats completely, to max everything out with the gear upgrades. So, all right, so let's move on to shrines. Shrines are a location on the map, and they only exist on the outer hex tiles. So they're not going to be in the 4 quadrants. They're going to be on the outside of the map, so you actually have to go and find them. These shrines give you access to a couple of special items that you can purchase. So we have Mystic Tonic, a Spectral Tonic. It can turn your characters invisible. We have a Pickling Pouch. Don't put the pixie in there. We have a Teleportation Rune, and the Teleportation Rune allows you to basically move anywhere you want on the game board. That's going to be a fun item to purchase when you're actually playing on 2 different maps at once. That'll come in handy there. And then you can get a reincarnation scroll, so you can actually reincarnate. If you die, you can come back as a different race. So that's a little fun too, because we played a game where the ogre came back as a pixie, and it was a lot of fun just laughing about that. So. What else can you do in a shrine? You auto-heal to full. You don't have to pay for a heal like you would in a city. You heal any condition. I think it's 1 condition. You heal 1 condition and all lost health while staying in a shrine. So let's say if somebody's suffering from disease or something, you can go there to get healed. And then we have a bunch of... blessings that the party can get, and blessing it's like a permanent boost to something that you wouldn't otherwise get, and the whole party gets this. The way you would get a blessing is by camping, spending a turn on the shrine. Do you have a favorite blessing?
I would probably say Blessing of the Sun. It basically allows you to heal 1 health and 1 energy every round, or every game turn.
It's actually 2.
Yep. 2. And it stacks with camping gear, so then you're healing a lot more every turn, so you don't have to worry about having to find, using your potions or going back to town to heal.
That would have really come in handy against the spiders.
Yeah.
Alright, then we have the Ruin card. So this is on the back of the Shrine card. So Ruins are another location that you can find on the game board. This is basically showing you a whole bunch of things that will happen. The fun thing about Ruins is you're kind of testing fate. You roll a 10-sided die, and based on that roll, you will have a number of different options that happen to your group. 1 through 5 are pretty good things. 6 through 10 are pretty bad things. And we do have items and races and other ways to affect die rolls. So we put something in at the bottom that says if you attempt to change fate. Right? If you attempt to change a die roll, then you have to roll a d6. If you take the result, you roll a d6, and you have to take a bad result as well as whatever you rolled. So that's kind of a fun. It's gotten us into a pickle a couple of times, but pretty easy to know which is our favorite Ruin event. I think we'll just put it up here. But it's called Mythic Event, and it basically allows you to. It takes a little bit of damage. Everybody takes a little damage, and then you draw 2 power-up cards, and each hero gets twice what's on the card. And I think we played that one time. We had one of the cards was a health plus 4, so it became everybody gets 8 health. And then the other one was first and second mastery plus 2. So that everybody got plus 8 health and plus 4 first and second mastery. It was amazing. There was much joyous merriment. All right. So that's kind of it. A little while ago, let's see, we had a request to maybe set up the game board. So we can use this little the table here, and we can just kind of go through what it would be like to set up a game for the first time. Got the dry erase heroes in here.
Not sure how well we'll be able to.
Yeah, I can move the camera a little bit. We won't use the hex tiles, but yeah, we can maybe go through making our character for the first time.
Yeah.
So which character do you want? We could maybe go through one of the game turns and.
Right.
All right. So yes, we are definitely going to do that. Here we go. And here's that. One other thing to note is on the back of our card decks, we have actually built in another card. So, for instance, on the back of the power-up deck, this is just a little reminder saying, hey, if you roll 3 hexes on the 3 skill dice, you get to draw a power-up card. For instance, on the quest deck here, on the back of that card, there are some quest achievements. So, have you turned in 3 quests? You get a little bonus here. Have you turned in 7 quests? You get, looks like video high quality. Yeah, let me see if there's a different setting I can use. Maybe I can try and get this on higher quality. Is it pretty low quality? Oh, thanks for the Dork Lord reference. I'll have to see about better quality. I think we just did 720 by whatever that proportion is. So, all right. And last but not least, we have, of course, the deck of the Dead King, where you get to play the bad guy against everyone else, and he has a super powerful, awful, hideous ability that he gets to do by turning in his cards. So those are a pretty fun one. All right. So do you looks like Nathan is going to be a divine one.
Yep.
And I think I'll just do a Scoundrel, because we've been talking about the Scoundrel so much. I will be Backstabber McBackstabberson. Yeah, it looks like it is a little blurry. Sorry about that, you guys. So, I have to tell you a little story. I was trying to set up for this live stream event at my house. And I get like a solid 0.5 upload speed. So that was kind of neat until I tried to live stream and then it didn't work. So now we're actually over at a friend's house. Paul has been awesome and let us kind of come in and use his Shanghai, his internet speed. So that's good. Alright, so you are going to be the Angelborn?
Yep, Angelborn Divine one.
I'm going to hold it up maybe a little closer.
Where's the camera? There we go.
So, let's see here. And I will just be a human. My favorite opponent is humanoid, so I'm good against humanoids, I should say. I have a +1 health and energy, +1 defend, +2 first mastery, and then it looks like +1 to all my skills. The nice thing about humans is they're clever and resourceful. Once per game turn, for 2 energy, I can re-roll a 10-sided die that we just rolled and get a -1 bonus to the roll. So that can help in some in a pickle. So basically, what we're gonna do is, if you can see this on the top here, there are little brown hexes next to each of our skills, abilities, and vitals. And you're basically going to take that and increase it by your race to give you a unique character. So I have 5 health and energy. Oh, my attack is dismal with a 2.
Better than mine.
That comforts me, Nathan. 2. At least you can heal, so I think that'll be good. Okay.
And then we would start out in depending on how many players you play with the game, will determine what your starting gold is. If we're just playing a 2-player game, we get a lot more than if we were to get a 6-player game. So we should have 24 gold in a 1 or 2-player game.
It's going to not be a good...
But it's easier to remember if you think of increments of 8. Than a 5 or 6-player game, everyone gets 8 gold. In a 4 or 3-player game, 16 gold. And then in a 1 or 2-player game, everyone gets 24 gold. And you really don't want to hold on to your gold. So right off the bat, you want to just try to spend as much gold as possible. You can buy your gear upgrades. That's usually one that a lot of people like trying to go for certain rank bonuses that'll be listed in your masteries. I took a race just so I could get my first rank bonus on my Divine Wrath ability. So I don't really have to spend as much gold into it. But again, you can buy potions and whatever items you can depending on what city we're in. So we're just going to start off by putting all our ranks and all of our abilities and stats.
Yeah, and one thing too that, as Nathan was just saying, you know, we're pretty much encouraged in this game to spend. Oh, thank you, Victoria. Or Aaron. Yeah, sorry. You're encouraged to spend your gold in this game, but because HEXtoberfest is a game system, in future games, like in our desert variant, we're going to have a gambling system, and the idea there is you may not want to spend all of your gold. So, again, it's going to be one of those things where each game is going to be a little different and have different things that kind of happen as you play. So So that is a little different there. Let me see. Can you guys see if I can? So we have the quadrants kind of laid out here, just in the normal setup. And I do apologize. I think we could probably do this a little bit better next time around. Now that we kind of know how to do it, so I might be able to move. I can move this a little bit too. Let me get this out of the way. Alright, so we should just be able to turn this if we need to. Alright, so we'll just put a couple of decks of cards there. We won't do like a whole game or anything because it will take a little time and you guys probably won't be able to see much anyway. But we can set it on the side here. Alright. Okay. So, as Nathan was saying, we will spend our gold for our heroes, and maybe we'll come back and we'll just tell everybody what we spent it on.
One of the first things we do is, once you've picked your role and race, is actually determine your starting location on the board, because you might have that discount in the starting area, like John was talking about earlier in the stream. So I'm just going to roll a 6-sided die, and I rolled a 5. Which would mean we place our party person. So
he's our little party person, and he's going to be right here. So we are now we find ourselves on the 5th city, which is near Click's domain, which is one of the bad guys. And I think
so. We reference the placard here. It's Hagrindish, the Iron Citadel. It says you may purchase reliable mounts for 4 gold per hero here, which would normally cost us 6 gold. So if we wanted to, we could start
moving a little bit faster on the game board. Yeah. So that would be good. I think I'm just going to put... Oh, the other thing is we get some food. When we begin the game, you start out with 2 times your food rating. And so each race has its own food rating. And, for instance, I'm a human, so I eat 2 units of food.
I'm playing the Angelborn, so I only get 1 unit of food.
And at the beginning of the game, you just start out with twice that amount. So I start out with 4. I'm going to buy some rations because I don't want to starve to death.
Yep.
Us idiots. And then I think I'm gonna buff up my masteries. I think I'm going to spend 4 gold, and then I'm going to. Oh, I'm sorry, it's probably hard to see. So I'm gonna increase my purple and blue ability basically by 2 by spending 18 of my 23 gold. Okay. I have 5 gold left. So I think I'm going to... now normally, at this point in the game, we would actually have our circumstances dealt. So you would have 5 open circumstances and 5 open quests. And this is basically just kind of a mock-up. We don't have a lot of room, so we're not showing the entirety of it. In fact, I can probably pull these here if I can get it. So inside of your game box, you will have these pieces here that fit along the top and bottom of the board. And if I put them together, you're going to see that they fit together like so. And you basically will put one on the top and one on the bottom. And then you will have the 5 different locations for the quests and 5 different locations for the 5 different cards for the circumstances. Now, one other thing I'm going to just mention, because The Leprechaun Scoundrel approves. Awesome. One thing I will also mention is that there's actually a puzzle on the back side of the map. So you get to put together the Dead King on the back side if you wanted to do that. It's a surprise, so don't tell anybody, but you know, you guys are special. So let me put these back here. You got your
my character is pretty much all set. So I have written in all the ranks, and then as you can see, I've upped my vitals a little bit. I spent a total of 7 gold. I upgraded my health twice and my energy once. Upgraded my attack and defense once, and my first mastery. Didn't increase my skills at all. And then on the left side of the masteries here, or on the right side, sorry, there's little equation boxes so you can quickly write in your masteries so you don't have to do your math every time of, you know, your attack rank plus your first mastery rank. Just write it in, and every time it adjusts, then you would up that.
Yeah, exactly. So I did something similar with my Scoundrel. I purchased, and sorry, it's always hard to try and get this on screen. So I spent 7. I didn't spend 7. I spent 2 and 3 is 5 gold to get up to 7 in health. Got myself an increase in some food. And where are we? Last but not least, I increased my first and second mastery. And on my little cheat sheet here, it's showing me that I do 10 damage with my Backstab. So without actually having stuff on the board, let's just put out a couple of circumstances here. Oh, Grizzly's on the board. If the Beastmaster were in play, Beastmaster would have the Grizzly. And then, do we want to just maybe show a couple quests? So this is kind of our game so far.
Just due to space, we're not having the full amount again, but just so you guys get the idea.
Who needs skills? We don't need skills. Alright, so we've rolled for our beginning city. We've spent our gold, and we've increased our characters accordingly. Let's see. We should probably name our characters, huh? That could be Bodie McBoatface. I think that. Scoundrel, Backstabby McBackstabbyface. And we'll just call him BS for short.
I'll just be Angelus the Angelborn.
Alright. So, basically we get to decide where we're going to go on the map. And I think what we'll end up doing is we'll just talk maybe about the modes of movement, the ways that you can actually move on the board. I know because you can't kind of see what's going on, we will probably just end up kind of fudging kind of what happens here, just to be... Okay, do you want to go over the movement?
Yep. So we have 4 different types of movement on our gameplay placard here. There's the normal movement, which will be taken pretty often, allows you to just move 4 spaces and you roll your skills normally. Then you have your cautious movement. That allows you to avoid some of the bad circumstances that could be in play. Moving cautiously, you can only move 1 hex instead of 4 hexes, but there are roads and rivers across the map that allow you to move full speed and move cautiously. You have reckless movement, which gives you a little bit of a penalty on your skills, and
Camping.
And you have camping, which allow you to just stay in spot and heal, and you get bonus to your skills.
And it's cumulative. So the more, let's say you're trying to work on a quest that requires a skill roll, you can camp multiple times and get a bonus multiple times on that roll. So, for instance, you have a -1 in the first round, a -2 in the second, -3 in the third. So it just helps you kind of make that roll. All right. So I think we're good. BS and Angelus is ready to head out on the road.
If we had the tokens for
yeah. Let's see, how many beast cards to total encounter cards are there? Okay, so there are 6 different encounter types, and there are 5 cards in each type. So, for instance, that's 30 total encounters. 5 of those encounters are beasts, are creatures, I should say. Creatures. Same thing for spirits and undead and monstrous humanoids. In future iterations of the game, that may change a little bit. I think for forests, we're currently looking at 5 of each of the types. But there's a might or may not be a new type added. We'll see about that. All right, so we have a couple of if you know off the top, yep. So 5 of each of those. Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so where do we want to go?
So when we look at our quests here, each quest has a specific spot on the map where they would be, and I'm just placing a couple of our quest tokens in play here. Based on these navigate, you can see on the top right corner of the location of where that would be. So this one is in the C quadrant. We look at the quadrant here and place it correspondingly. We actually have 2 quests that are in the C quadrant. So that's like usually a good place to start. The other ones aren't on the map yet. They're on the hex tiles on the outside of the map. So we don't mark those yet because they're not on the board yet.
Alex, thank you. Thank you for your comment and for being here. We're really excited to show it off today, and happy that you guys are having a good time today watching us shenanigans. So we could attack the gray slime, or we could attack. We could try and take out the 4th boss. I don't know if that'll work. So
probably not this early in the game. Otherwise, in roughly 2 turns away from us, we could get our first navigate quest. Our navigate kind of sucks right now.
Yeah, I only have 2.
I only have a 2 as well.
1 in 6 a creature pops up the Beastmaster could utilize, yes. And that's why those luck stones are important to the player, and why we've given some ways to get those easier. In fact, there are some role-specific quests that we've included, one of which is for the Beastmaster. And if you find this quest, if you get to do it, you actually... Oh, is it right there?
We actually have that happened to be our navigate. It actually says Beastmaster. And this one would be, if the Beastmaster is currently in play and completes this quest, roll a 10-sided die. If the result is less than or equal to Call of the Wild rank, which is their summoning mastery, you may search the circumstance deck for the Storm Wolves encounter and add it to your pack. And that's actually a magical nature type. So that allows you to get a 6th thing added to your pack.
Mm-hmm. So we have those for the 6 base rolls, and that would be the Scoundrel, the Brute, the Sorcerer, the Nomad, and the Priest, and the Beast. I think I said Beastmaster. So yeah,
and we actually have 3 quests out. We have the Scoundrel, Beastmaster, so we actually have yours out here too.
Hey, look at that! So we have the Scoundrel ability here, and I'm playing the Scoundrel. So if we go and do this quest, It says, if the Scoundrel is currently in play and completes this quest, roll a 10-sided die. If the result is less than or equal to treasure hunting rank, so that is my purple ability here. So it's currently a 6. If I were to do it now and roll a 6 or less, the Scoundrel's Backstab bonus die may now explode up to 3 times in combat. So that is pretty awesome. All right. So we can put that down there.
And as just another clarification with the beasts, the creatures types, is that there are 5 circumstances in play, so you will always have 5 in play, and that allows you to increase the chance of you finding those encounters. So as you keep discarding, and you'll keep revealing.
Yep. Okay. So what do you think? Should we try and fight the? We could try and fight the slime.
We could do that. That's pretty much right on the way.
Okay. So we are going to move our characters a couple of units on the game board, and we're going to go to the gray slime. Now, it's probably hard to see, so we won't be able to move cautiously. That means we will be in jeopardy of actually wandering, which is a mechanic we haven't really talked about yet. I'm gonna have to... Oh, no problem. Yeah, no problem. I believe it'll still be online. Again, this is the first time I've done a live stream event, so I'm hoping that it just doesn't go away. It should just stay on our channel. So thank you. We really appreciate you guys coming, and we've got probably about 30 minutes or so left before the end of the event. But no problem. You guys have a great time, and thanks for being so enthusiastic about the game.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so we're gonna fight the gray slime, but we were just talking about wandering. So remember how we had mentioned there are various types of movement. Moving cautiously is good because it allows you to get rid of a circumstance that you are about to face, and it allows you to not get lost in the wilderness. So
I have the game turn placard right here. So we did our movement. We had to move normally because we had to move off of the road. So that means we're going to roll all of our skills. And then now we're going right on to the skill phase. So,
alright, so we're going to roll all 3 of our dice, and these are our hex dice. So you'll notice that the 1s digit is replaced by a hex on the 10-sided, and that is because rolling low on the skill dice is a good thing in this game. There is the time when the option of upgrading your favorite opponent die from a 6-sided to a 10-sided, and if that happens, you actually can hexplode the die, which means you get to re-roll on not only a roll of a hex, but a roll of a 10 as well. So the hex digit is good on this die. The 10 digit is bad when you're rolling skills. It's good with damage. Alright, so we're going to roll our 3 dice. And I missed everything.
Well, I actually got my navigate, and half the group just needs to succeed navigate for us to actually land it. I also rolled a hex on my explore.
Nice.
So that means I found 2 gold. And I failed my survival, so I do have to eat.
Now, one other thing happens in skill rolls in the skill phase. If you roll a hex, a couple of things could happen. If you roll a hex on green, that means you automatically locate where you're going. So let's say you had a group of 6 people, only one person made it with a hex, nobody else made navigate, you saved the group from wandering. Yellow, when you roll your Explorer and you roll a hex, you actually gain, the whole group, you find a good place to camp, the whole group receives a +1 back to their health if they've lost any. Survival, similarly, is you gain a +1 to your energy. Now, in our follow-up game, we've got different dynamics going on when you roll hexes. So there's definitely different things that happen. So,
And for those that may not be completely familiar, we have 3 colored dice, and each of our skills is color coordinated to those. So you just can roll all the dice that you would need to roll, and then just compare the blue die to your blue skill, and so on. So it's really quick for everyone.
Yeah. All right. So thanks for saving us. BS is excited about that. And now, so the next phase of the game is after we rolled skills. Now it goes into the circumstance. Because we're on a boss location, it skips the circumstance phase.
And we go right to the event phase.
Right. So we have the gray slime here. He's a hideous, shape-shifting, color-changing chameleon blob. If those of you who have played D&D, or you will have probably run into slimes and jellies. So this is one of those. It's a magical nature type opponent. So
my favorite opponent is Spirit, so I don't get any bonuses against it.
Yep, and I'm really good against humanoids. Not really good against magic nature, so that means we do not get to roll any extra dice of damage against this guy. Alright, so let's see.
So I'm going to take the battle mat and record its health and energy. And according to the boss placard, it has 36 health and 25 energy. So I just write it in the battle mat as so. In the health section, 36 and energy 25.
Okay, so now basically combat begins, and we're going to go around the table. The group is going to declare what their actions are. So declaration phase, I'm going to treasure hunt. BS says let's not worry too much. I'm just going to look for treasure. What are you going to do?
Well, that allows you to evade at the same time, correct? So
yep.
I'm going to use Divine Wrath, so that allows me to do a small amount of damage and heal myself. Since he's defending, I don't think I'm going to have to throw a heal on him, hopefully.
Good luck. My defend is only 3, so good luck to both of us.
Yes.
Alright, so we're going to roll a 6-sided die. Now that we're done declaring what our actions are going to be, we roll the 6-sided die, and we see what action the boss takes. So we roll a Hex Caustic Cloud. So this is group survival. The air grows foul. Heroes who fail are now diseased and fatigued until the end of combat.
Okay, so my survival's only a 2.
Mine is as well.
So, as that was, it's a group survival, so that means it affects the whole group, and we have to each roll survival.
Yep.
I failed.
I almost made it with a 3. That almost is not enough.
However, you're a human, so you could choose the reroll with a -1 bonus. So you'd have to roll that 3 again at least.
Yeah, the only problem is that drops me down to only 1 energy, and that means I can only do my backstab once. I think I'm going to take it and not reroll, because that way I can reroll next turn. So now on the back of the battle mat, we have a conditions list, and this shows all of the different conditions that basically can affect the players. So we are both diseased. We have to roll survival in order to use energy. This effect continues even after combat ends. We must heal in a city or a shrine, as well as fatigued, and we lose 1 energy during the declaration phase of each round of combat. Ugh, I think we're done for, man.
Yeah.
So, first round out of the game, first game turn out of this game, we roll terrible luck, and we probably should have come prepared.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't have fought a boss turn 1 either.
The second boss. So let's do it to the end though. So let's see what happens. So I have 7 health and 4 energy. So next turn
we lose
1. Now, boy, this is a hard one because I could try and do backstab for 10 damage, but that uses energy. So I'm going to have to try and roll a 2 or less on a d10, and those are terrible odds. So I think I'm going to just have to go with 2 damage for my attack. Do you think I should try for 10?
I think it's worth it because I can only do about 5 damage if I use energy.
Right, and you're the healer.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, we'll try it. And I'm going to roll this blue die, and I'm going to dice shame it to, here to the moon if it rolls. I mean, it's a 1 or a 2 chance, so we're going to dice shame it. Pretty sure it's going to happen. Oh, it was almost a 2!
Yeah.
That was almost, did you see that?
Yeah, it hit something.
Okay, I think that means it's a reroll, right?
Yeah, and I failed my survival.
Yeah, I rolled an 8. You probably can't see it. Okay. Yeah, so the Grey Dwarf would have been a awesome choice in this case. So the racial ability for the Grey Dwarf allows I believe it's just the player who's playing the Grey Dwarf can shrug off a condition.
Yeah.
So
that meant we can't use energy this round.
Yeah.
So that would also mean you wouldn't be able to use your racial ability either.
Right. So I am down. Well, I will stay at 3, and he still gets to roll to see what he does. So let's see. 1, the gray slime, group health and energy. Corrosive slime damages the entire group. Each hero loses 2 health and 2 energy. So that is bad news. I'm down to 5 and 1, and then at the beginning of next round, I lose that 1.
Yep.
I have 5 health left. I think this is the point in the game where we have to talk about running from battles.
Yeah.
It's very fitting that on the first game turn out of the bat, we have to run from the second boss. But yeah, let's try that. I only have a 2.
Yeah, me too.
So let's get that out. I believe we get a bonus on the roll though. So let's just read that to everybody. So running from battles. During the declaration phase of combat, players intent on fleeing must roll their navigate die with a -2 bonus on the roll. If successful, they are able to flee and cannot be targeted this round. If unsuccessful, you may only defend this round. Each round you attempt to flee, you gain an additional -2 bonus to the roll. So we get a -2 bonus to the roll. I need a 4 or less in order to flee.
So do I. And we both failed.
Failed! Epic! 9. I rolled a 9 and Nathan rolled a 7. So oh yeah, look. So Adam says 2 energy for the Grey Dwarf to get rid of it for himself, 4 energy to get rid of it for the group. Okay. So yeah, we do not go anywhere. The Grey Slime rolls 4 dual target health. It's both of us. Piercing of 3. 2 targets suffer 7 health damage.
And so that means I blocked for 4 because we were running, but because it has piercing 3, it goes through 3 of my defense.
Yep.
So I only block 1 total.
Well, so I have 3 for evade. So basically that would be 7 damage. 3 is blockable. 3 is unblockable. So I take 4 damage.
So I think that's it.
Yep. So BS calls BS on this game because we made poor choices, poor life choices. Did not go well for the human Scoundrel and the Illumin, or the Angelborn
Divine one.
So I guess that's all she said, folks. That's all she wrote. So we can put this away for now. But that's how combat goes. And if you're not careful, again, you can get into pickles like this. Especially when you are not paying attention to conditions. Conditions are a huge problem unless you pay attention to what's going on, and so that makes it fun. What else? So we've got 12:38. We've got only about 20 minutes left with you guys today. Really appreciate you taking the time to come out and say hello. Is there any questions you guys have about the game that we could answer? Anything on your mind? Or anything we could show you?
I'll just note that in a larger group game, maybe 4, 5, 6 people, they probably could take out the gray slime.
We probably could have done it.
Than a 2-player game. There's a little bit more cautiousness in a smaller group that you might want to consider going for quests first rather than just going for a boss right away.
Yep. Yeah, and that was definitely something that we don't encourage going after a boss the very first round out of the game. There is some setup to go through. Beware the slime! Hey, thanks, Jasper.
Thanks for joining.
Thanks for joining today. So, kind of the next phase in all of this is when we built HEXtoberfest, or when I built HEXtoberfest, and now that I have awesome help in the form of Nathan and his wife, and another guy, Beck, that we work very closely with. Oh, yes, the canvas and t-shirts. So, basically, what we're going to do for that is... in one of the updates, you said you're replacing the foil lamination. Yes. Okay, I can show you. I can talk about that too. So, to answer your question, Jasper, basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to collect all of the comments that you guys have basically interacted with us today. You're all going to go on a list, and then we're going to roll. Well, we won't roll, but we'll go to random.org. We're going to pull open. Actually, I wonder if do we have time to. I don't know that we have time to do it online with everybody here, but offline we're going to do a roll to see who gets the canvas print, and then we will be reaching out to you directly, or probably on this thread, to let the folks know who has won. For the t-shirts, I have mediums and larges to give away. I apologize, I don't have extra sizes just yet. We have a limited run that we did, so we'll just be able to give you one of those 2 sizes. So we're hoping that is the gold dragon still shining foil? Yes. So talking about the foil cards, the foil cards. I thought they looked kind of ridiculous, so I didn't want to go with the foil. Instead, I chose, and let me show you. So this is the foil card, and the foil actually takes all of the art off of, like you can't really see the art on the card anymore. So basically, I'm going with a spot UV, and spot UV is a lot better, in my opinion, because it allows you to see what's underneath, and it's not so drastic of a change. Spot UV is basically a very high gloss that is only on certain parts of the page, and so on this we would have all the areas that are foil are going to be spot UV instead. You've probably seen this on many marketing pieces. But I don't have a sample here because they didn't send me the sample. I actually work in a print environment, so I'm familiar with spot UV and I'm pretty confident that you guys are going to like that way better than the foil. All right, let's see. Visuals are very important in learning. Look forward to seeing other videos. Thank you. And I do appreciate the feedback, and I am sorry that the video wasn't higher quality. So I will investigate that. Cool. All right. So I think that's kind of it for now. We will kind of put away the stuff here, and if you guys have any other questions or if we can help with anything, answer anything, we'll be here for a couple more minutes yet. And it was definitely a fun experience being able to
Nope, just get in the spirit of Halloween, Nightmare Before Christmas. Yep.
Some Jack Skellington.
Yep.
Rulebook, yes. So the rulebook is it's also online, and why don't I link to that so you can so you can see that. You'll be able to go directly to the rulebook. Okay, there's the link, and here's the rulebook. We have the sides are tabbed, so you are able to figure out where you are in each section based on those tabs up here. So that kind of helps a little bit. And we do have several translated versions of the rulebook now. Thanks to many of our supporters, we have Portuguese, we have German, and we have French. I believe, let's see, thank you for the link. You're welcome, no problem. So yeah, this is the rulebook. It's a little intimidating, the size. It's 64 pages, but it's laid out in a pretty easy to follow format, and you'll be able to quickly find anything you need using the index or the table of contents.
Yeah, and we were, as you guys probably saw, we had the gameplay placards, which really are the, I guess maybe the spark notes, the quick way for you to reference a lot of these, the game turn, how the markets work and how combat works. So, that's really what you'll just be passing around and looking at if you need a quick reference. So hopefully there won't be a ton of trying to find something specific in the rule book.
Yeah, especially at the top of each of the gameplay placards, you can see it actually goes through and tells you exactly what you do in that scenario. So in cities, you skip the circumstance phase. Heroes can pay gold to heal. You get access to gear upgrades and items, or you can turn in your quests. So, what else? I guess we could talk a little bit about where we're at with the project too. I did just to handle just reading through the PDF. Cool. Yeah, you're welcome. So one other thing I was just going to say is I just received back the photographs from the factory, and I sent some of those photographs out in our newsletter, and I will be posting a new update to the Kickstarter. I'll be posting a new Kickstarter update probably in the next week or so to send out the Heroes of Explorit booklet, and that way everybody can take a look at that. And we have some play hints in there as well, so you'll be able to read up on a couple of things. We should have looked at the play hint for the gray slime, maybe. BS, maybe could have done a little bit more. And so yeah, keep on keeping on. Thank you. We really appreciate it, guys. We'll probably wrap it up here. So we hope you guys had a great time today. We sure did. I mean, I sure did.
Yeah.
Wish more games had that. Cool. Yeah, we wanted to also make sure. Oh, we can talk about our living card campaign too.
Oh yeah.
Let me get one of those out. This was Beck's idea. It was a great idea.
Mm-hmm. Here. Okay. So we're gonna have a couple cards that are gonna be similar to this. This one's called What Was That? This one came from the Circumstance deck. Mm-hmm. We have, I believe, 3 living?
3. Yep, there's 2 in the Quest deck and 1 in the Circumstance deck.
So basically these, anytime you would draw this or encounter this, we have a little QR code here that you can just look up. And this is going to be an ever-changing card that this link will send you right to our website, and you will be able to see what this card actually represents. And it'll be some fun, maybe some seasonal things depending on the time of the year. Our quest one will tell an expanding story that you can look forward to seeing every month.
Yeah, and the story tells a little bit about how the Dead King became the Dead King, and we're also going to be releasing fun things about Bezel Quarks. He is a gnome who operates the black market in the game, so you'll be able to go to the site and actually get different cards throughout the year. And those will be changing every single month. So we'll have, at the end of the year, 36 more cards that will be added to the game. Thank you. So you had a question, Mary, about if it's good for high school gamers. Yes, absolutely. And I don't say that because I'm biased. I actually say that I have 3 kids, and my kids absolutely love the game, and they're not teenagers. My oldest is 12, so but what this game kind of represents is the ability to role play games like Pathfinder or Dungeons and Dragons, and it basically is about you trying to create a hero and get them as powerful as possible, and we find a lot of high school kids enjoy it. And we certainly do. We were those types of high school kids. If this were around in my high school, I think I would have been playing a lot of it. So
yeah, it's fun to get a campaign in a box where you can kind of play through one in a single setting or 1 or 2 settings if you need to.
Yep.
So it definitely for high school gamers, it wouldn't be a problem for them to learn or play.
Yeah. The other thing too is, when it comes to the game, it's really variable duration. We usually play games that are called double up, which is, basically you're playing for double the reward, and it's more of a quick play. The idea there is that you're trying to complete a game a little faster. But even playing double up, we end up playing the game for hours at a time because there is really no cap as to how long you want to play. I mean, you could play this for a good deal of the afternoon, and it's rewarding. So.
Yeah, and usually when we play double up, that is our quick play kind of rules. We usually teach the game to people that way. That way they can see a lot of it, and when we're playing events, more people can be drawn in and try it that way. But when we're not very time constricted, a lot of people absolutely love extending it. So when we want to get more games, and they instead want to just be, I want to keep getting that power up, and we've gone, in some of our demos, go 3-4 hours,
right.
And so
right at that time, like the whole table is having a good time, but I'm kind of like, okay, maybe we should let's wrap it up.
Yeah. So,
but no, it's a lot of fun, and we like trying to break the rules, so we end up trying to play, like we've gone on marathon runs where we actually fight all the bosses. And that is a daunting task. There's just so much in the game, so we're all very excited about it because we've come up with a lot of fun ideas for the circumstances and the quests, and that role play element is certainly part of it. So cool. All right. Well, I think it was successful. There was maybe a little hiccup in the beginning there, and other than the resolution quality, so I will certainly put that on my to-do list to make sure that we can figure that out for next time. So you certainly can start a game. You can put it away and then tackle it later if you needed to. How many box games should they have? One would be good, or 2. Is this for a high school or?
So the game itself can, if you have the Dead King expansion or the deck, that allows up to 7 people. So if you were to have groups larger than 7, then you might want more than one box. If you are part of a gaming club or organization, so that's pretty much, so that's pretty much the size, and that's if you're playing 1 versus 6.
Right.
When you're playing one person against the heroes. Otherwise, if you want a full, co-op experience, then you would just have 6. So it all depends on your group size and how many, if you were trying to get multiple games going at once.
Mm-hmm. Right, exactly what Nathan said. One box will probably definitely get you into the I guess, get your feet wet into the system. It certainly is one of those games that we're trying to. This is only the beginning for us. So we have so many ideas for the future. We are currently working on the second volume called Forests of Agumon. And we are about 80% done with the creation of the content, and then we have the testing phase, and then we'll be, we've been testing this whole time, so that's all ongoing. But anyway, the idea there is that you'll be able to play this game standalone and the next game standalone. Or you can play this game together at the same time as the next game. So, yes. So, yeah, thank you. The other nice thing about this is it does promote some basic math skills. My daughter certainly, does that too. So, okay. Well, thanks again, guys. Awesome that you were here with us today. We're going to wrap it up too. So, really appreciate everybody. And we can't wait for this to arrive in your mailbox.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
All right.